Mary Whiton Calkins is the unsung heroine of psychology, whose trailblazing work paved the way for future generations of women in the field. Her remarkable story is one of perseverance and passion as she overcame countless obstacles to make groundbreaking contributions to our understanding of the self. As we delve into her extraordinary life, get ready to uncover the fascinating tale of a woman who defied convention and forever changed the face of psychology. Born on March 30, 1863, in Hartford, Connecticut, Mary was the fifth of 5 children to Wolcott and Charlotte Calkins. Her family's strong emphasis on education and social responsibility would later influence her own academic pursuits and commitment to women's rights. Mary's childhood was marked by a loving and supportive environment, with her parents encouraging her curiosity and fostering a sense of intellectual freedom. As she grew older, Mary's interests shifted towards philosophy and psychology, subjects that were not commonly taught to women at the time. Despite these limitations, she pursued her passion for learning, enrolling in 1882 at Wellesley College, where she would eventually graduate with a degree in classics and philosophy. It was during her time at Wellesley that Mary developed a deep appreciation for the works of William James, whose ideas on consciousness and the self would later become a cornerstone of her own theoretical contributions. Mary's educational journey took a significant turn when she began teaching Greek at Wellesley College in 1887. However, it was not until she met Josiah Royce, a prominent philosopher and psychologist, that her interest in psychology truly flourished. Royce, who would become a mentor to Mary, encouraged her to explore the field of psychology, recognizing her exceptional aptitude for the subject. Under his guidance, Mary began to delve into the works of notable psychologists, including William James and Pierre Janet, laying the groundwork for her future research on the self and consciousness. As Mary's knowledge of psychology grew, so did her desire to contribute to the field. She started attending seminars at Harvard University, where she was exposed to the latest ideas in psychology. Although women were not officially allowed to enroll in Harvard's graduate programs at the time, Mary's determination and exceptional abilities eventually earned her permission to attend classes, albeit unofficially. It was during this period that she developed a close relationship with William James, who would become a lifelong friend and intellectual companion. James's influence on Mary's work cannot be overstated, as his concepts of stream of consciousness and the importance of subjective experience would later shape her own theories on the self. As Mary Whiton Calkins's interest in psychology deepened, she found herself at the forefront of a burgeoning field, navigating uncharted territories of the human mind. Her relationship with William James continued to flourish, and she became a regular attendee at his seminars, where she engaged in lively discussions with other prominent thinkers, including Josiah Royce and Hugo Münsterberg. These interactions not only broadened her understanding of psychology, but also instilled in her a sense of belonging to a community of scholars who shared her passion for exploring the human experience. One of the most significant influences on Mary's work during this period was her exposure to the concept of self-psychology, which emphasized the importance of subjective experience and personal narrative in shaping our understanding of identity. She became particularly fascinated with the idea that our sense of self is not fixed, but rather a dynamic and evolving construct, influenced by our interactions with others and our environment. This notion would later become a cornerstone of her own theoretical contributions, as she sought to develop a more nuanced and comprehensive understanding of the self. Mary's educational journey took another significant turn when she began working with Josiah Royce on a project examining the relationship between philosophy and psychology. This collaboration allowed her to delve deeper into the philosophical underpinnings of psychological theory, and she became increasingly interested in the ways that our understanding of the self is rooted in both cognitive and affective processes. Her work with Royce also gave her the opportunity to explore the concept of self-consciousness, which she believed was essential to a comprehensive understanding of human behavior. As Mary's expertise in psychology grew, so did her reputation as a scholar and educator. She began to attract attention from other prominent psychologists, including G. Stanley Hall, who invited her to present her work at the American Psychological Association's annual conference. This marked a significant milestone in Mary's career, as it provided her with a platform to share her ideas with a wider audience and establish herself as a leading voice in the field of psychology. Despite these successes, Mary faced numerous challenges in her pursuit of a career in psychology. As a woman in a male-dominated field, she encountered resistance and skepticism from some of her colleagues, who questioned her ability to make meaningful contributions to the discipline. However, Mary persevered, driven by her passion for psychology and her determination to make a lasting impact on the field. Her unwavering commitment to her work ultimately earned her the respect and admiration of her peers, and she went on to become one of the most influential psychologists of her time. Mary's relationships with her contemporaries played a significant role in shaping her theoretical contributions and research agenda. Her close friendship with William James, for example, influenced her emphasis on subjective experience and personal narrative in understanding the self. Meanwhile, her collaborations with Josiah Royce and G. Stanley Hall exposed her to a wide range of philosophical and psychological perspectives, which she incorporated into her own work. These interactions not only broadened her intellectual horizons, but also provided her with a sense of community and belonging, which was essential to her growth and development as a scholar. As Mary Whiton Calkins' reputation as a scholar and educator continued to grow, she found herself at the forefront of a burgeoning field, navigating uncharted territories of the human mind. One of the most significant aspects of her work during this period was her development of the concept of self-consciousness, which she believed was essential to a comprehensive understanding of human behavior. She argued that self-consciousness was not just a product of cognitive processes, but also deeply rooted in affective and social experiences. Calkins' work on self-consciousness was heavily influenced by her relationships with her contemporaries, particularly William James and Josiah Royce. Her close friendship with James, for example, led her to emphasize the importance of subjective experience and personal narrative in understanding the self. Meanwhile, her collaborations with Royce exposed her to a wide range of philosophical perspectives, which she incorporated into her own work on self-consciousness. One of the key ways that Calkins explored the concept of self-consciousness was through her use of introspection as a research method. She believed that by examining her own thoughts, feelings, and experiences, she could gain a deeper understanding of the human psyche and develop more nuanced theories about the nature of self-consciousness. This approach was highly innovative for its time, and it allowed Calkins to gather rich, detailed data about the subjective experience of self-consciousness. Calkins' work on self-consciousness also led her to explore the role of social relationships in shaping our understanding of ourselves. She argued that our sense of self is not just a product of individual experiences, but also deeply influenced by our interactions with others. This idea was revolutionary for its time, and it paved the way for later theories about the social construction of identity. Calkins' emphasis on the importance of social relationships in shaping self-consciousness also led her to explore the concept of self-awareness, which she believed was essential to a comprehensive understanding of human behavior. As Calkins delved deeper into her research on self-consciousness, she began to develop a more nuanced and comprehensive theory about the nature of the self. She argued that the self is not a fixed entity, but rather a dynamic and evolving construct that is shaped by our experiences, relationships, and social context. This idea was highly influential, and it paved the way for later theories about the fluid and contextual nature of identity. Calkins' work on self-consciousness also had significant implications for the field of psychology, as it highlighted the importance of subjective experience and personal narrative in understanding human behavior. Despite the significance of her contributions, Calkins' work was not without controversy. Some of her contemporaries criticized her use of introspection as a research method, arguing that it was too subjective and lacking in scientific rigor. Others questioned her emphasis on the social construction of identity, arguing that it undermined the idea of a stable and essential self. However, Calkins remained committed to her approach, and she continued to develop and refine her theories about self-consciousness throughout her career. Her groundbreaking theories on self-consciousness introspection, and the social construction of identity have paved the way for generations of psychologists, philosophers, and scholars to explore the complexities of the human mind. As Calkins herself once said, "The self is not a fixed or static entity, but a dynamic and evolving process, a notion that continues to resonate deeply in modern psychological thought." That's all for today's Psych with Sigmund. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.